Free will isn't so, for there is a greater will that our brains can't even fathom. Peace unto you. My name is Nadiie, and today we are going to discuss free will doesn't exist, only divine will is. Let us begin. See, at a foundation, you must understand concepts. Don't take things too literally when they aren't meant to be taken literally, and take things literally when they are meant to be taken literally. It's only the ego that makes plain statements complex and complex statements plain. For our human brains to truly comprehend what God is, with that which is our Father, Mother, we as masters must speak in concepts. For concepts isn't linear. This world is riddled with linear foundations all over. The world says to get to point B, you must go to point A. To get to point Z, you must go through point A, B, C, D. No. In God, in truth, you can start at point C if you want to. You can start at point Z if you want to. If you want to start at point A, you can skip all the way to point Z. There is no one way to do things. That's why masters like to speak in concepts. For example, Yeshua likes to speak in parables. Parables are concepts. They're like stories that lead to multiple truths. If I tell a concept to 5 people, there will be 5 different meanings for each individual person. Now that we understood this, let's break down what free will actually is, because free will existed before ego, and we're using the term before for human transcription. For time is not so. Follow along. Free will truly came from a place of perfect love, but it got manipulated and slowly morphed into that which is ego, the stuff that we know now. In truth, when we were all in heaven, all in God, we was having a grand old time. And since we're so one with everything, we experienced every thought, known and unknown. Every thought that has an ounce of truth in it, we experienced it. One thought, however, gained too much attention, too much focus, and that thought was, what would life be if we didn't experience God right now? Or would that even be possible? And then we let it pass. But what happened when that thought was focused upon is this illusionary realm was created. Not just earth, dimensionality was created right there. The moment we said, is it possible to exist without God? Whatever. Dimensionality was created, because your thoughts are that powerful. Thoughts do not just come from nothing, for if they came from nothing, you would not think at all. So he was pulling and pulling and pulling, and then our focus gave birth to dimensionality. Dimensionality is an infinite loop of evolution. You don't just go to the 5th dimension and stop. As above, so below. If you count right with numbers in mathematics, isn't it true that the numbers will keep on going? If you're counting, the numbers will just keep getting larger and larger and larger until what? Until you decide to stop. We have to decide to stop dimensionality. We don't just stop at the 5th dimension, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th. It goes on and on until we say, I'm tired of dimensions. I'm going back to God. But our free will, out of perfect love, we seen that the dimensionality was created. Other angels was like, what's that over there? I see it, but somehow it just doesn't feel right. And us being perfect love, we say, oh no. And then that's the first seed of guilt. We created that. And out of our love, we don't want any of you to partake in what we created. So free will was designed in that moment to say, I'm going to go over here in dimensionality and undo what I created, what we created. For we are the child of God. We're not the children of God. We are the child of God. And the moment we set foot in dimensionality, that's when the child thought itself as children. For dimensionality is of separation. Some pieces of us was like, oh my gosh, let's go to these realms. Others was like these realms. Others was like these realms, because we needed to understand we have to maximize our efforts in undoing dimensionality. So we have to split up ourselves into every dimension and fix it in each and every dimension. And then once it's fixed enough, more Christ beings can come, more ascended masters, Christ consciousness beings, Buddha consciousness beings, all of these beings can come through and assist us with remembrance. Because the longer you stay here, the more your abilities naturally fade away. Because your focus is not that which is God anymore, is that which is illusion. You're so focused on fixing up the world. You're so focused on your bills, your kids, your dog, yourself, your hair, your looks, your eyes, that you forget that you're none of these things. You're so focused on the problem that you forgot the solution. Free will doesn't exist. We must understand that it got morphed into the ego. At one point, it was pure. But we must take accountability and acceptance for what it is now. Our true will is God's will, or a divine will. When you understand divine will is simply like that. Divine will is. But for more human transcription, for the people that need something more apparent and clear, divine will is basically like this. Imagine everything that you want in life not only happening, but supporting those around. That is a concept for you to understand what divine will is. See, God, contrary to popular belief, will give you what you want. Oh, you want $1 million? I'll give you $1 million. But if we can't construct a pathway or opportunity for you not only to get what you want, but for everyone around you to get what they want as well, then we're not going to give it to you. If we know you have financial illiteracy, why would we support and enable your lack mindset? But if we know on some level you're able to manage finances so well that you'll be able to share with everyone around you and still retain abundance, so be it. Let this person be a billionaire. That's how God operates. That's divine will. And you see, the free will got miscreated as we stayed here longer. And like I said before, the ego was birthed from the free will, but it was birthed when we started focusing only on the problems, the illusion, dimensionality. I gotta get to this dimension because I don't like the stuff in this dimension. I gotta go to that dimension because that dimension looks cool. We started focusing on the problems rather than the solution, which is literally just get back to God. Stop relying on anything outside of yourself. Though that may be, we still have to meet each other where we are because we are one. Again, we are the child of God. So just because a piece of you got back to heaven, don't mean that the other pieces are just, poop out of luck. No, they are you as well. So God says, you did it, but you didn't. And you are you. For y'all are my children. And then once we heard that, we say, hold on. That's our human filters. Again, can you repeat that, God? Now we're seeing as you see. For you are my child. See, God even meets us where we are. So it will use language that we will understand until we get it. So note this before you leave. Trust in divine will. Trust not in anything of physicality. Know that God shall deliver only if it's able to support everyone around. And you are the facilitator of that, for you are the co-creator of your reality. Ask God, God, these are the things that I want, and guide me to displaying a level of frequency so that others may perceive, and not only perceive, but experience, not only experience, but share your abundance as well. For that is divine will. With that, we say welcome home.